Views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station, its owner, staff, or management. The following program is sponsored by Straight Line Construction. Keep your home improvement project running straight. It's time for the Straight Line Construction Home Improvement Show with Jack Borba.
Hey, good morning, guys. Here today is Jeremy Reed, and I'm a guest for Jack Borba today. My name is Grant Gluck, and we are the owners of Solar Savings Direct.
Good morning, Grant. How you doing?
Phenomenal. Thanks for being here with me, Jeremy.
You bet.
Yeah, so today we are going to talk about solar and how it is a construction project. We're going to talk about a little bit of our backgrounds. We're going to talk about the different methods of getting solar installed on your house. We're going to talk about the products and a couple of things to avoid to make sure that your solar is a successful project. So first off, I got a couple questions for Jeremy. Jeremy, your background, can you give us just a little brief description of your construction experience that you've got?
You bet. Honestly, this is pretty ironic because people have been telling me my whole life I have a face for radio. So being here it's like crossing something off my bucket list. So I was raised in Walnut Creek, and around 10 years old, moved to Louisiana. The large earthquake in '89, my parents were like, you know what, let's get out of here. Let's go to somewhere where there's no natural disasters.
Right.
So we moved to Louisiana. Then Hurricane Katrina hit. So Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005, and I had just graduated from LSU in construction management, and it was the perfect place to be. I was a hammer, and there was a bunch of nails around, so started building houses, and then 2008 hit, and the mortgage crunch hit.
Right.
And
so tell me about the houses. You worked with a big developer and did a lot of construction, right? A lot of houses.
That's correct.
How many houses were they doing a year?
So we were doing about 120 houses a year.
Sweet.
After Hurricane Katrina, I was directly managing about 120 houses a year, and it was a very, very fast-paced environment. I learned a ton.
Nice.
And it didn't last forever. Mm-hmm. In 2008, the mortgage crunch hit, and I went to petrochemical industry.
Gotcha. Kind of ironic. Now we're doing solar.
Yeah. And so I've seen both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And I did pretty well as a project engineer for a large oil refinery, and then the BP oil spill hit.
Yeah. So back on the construction experience that you've got, building houses as a contractor yourself, I think it's important for people to understand that, the way that we approach solar is just as a standard construction project. My background as a general building contractor for 10 years, we've put houses together. We've done construction projects and concrete framing. I mean, you name it, just the whole thing. And I think the success that our company has is because we approach solar as a construction project. And as we work on houses that we're doing one trade and one trade alone, let me ask you this: is it pretty simple when you layer it properly?
It is. It really is, and it's easy to distinguish ourselves because we approach it as a construction project, and both of us have a long history of being construction professionals.
Yeah,
I've been a licensed contractor since 2013, and I know you. In fact, I think you've even got me beat. When
a little bit, 2010.
2010.
Great time to start a business. Yeah, economy was thriving. So yeah, a lot of fun. So yeah, so here's what we're going to talk about today on the radio station is on the show here. We're going to talk about the right ways to get solar on your house, what you can avoid, how you can tell if you're dealing with a qualified solar installation company, and some of the big things to watch out for. And the reason that we started off with giving a little bit of our background is because we've been part of every construction trade. I've done a handful of commercial projects. I know Jeremy has as well. And I tell you, solar's pretty simple when it's done right and when you put the layers down in the correct order. So, one of the first things as a consumer you need to look out for is as you are wanting to do solar, as you speak with any representative, are they approaching it as a construction project or are they approaching it as a financial savings? Okay. And what I mean by that is if you're reaching out to any solar company and they say, well, how much is your bill? In reality, that's kind of the wrong approach. What we do at our company is we ask for the kilowatt hours, and that's how the utility company charges you. And a lot of people are completely unfamiliar with what kilowatt hours are, but they can be found on the bill. It's really easy to obtain. But if a sales rep comes to you only on the financial side of it, that doesn't really address the solar as a construction project, which it really is.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, it's a construction project. Solar panels produce kilowatt hours, and that's what they do. So our take when designing a system is to get the annual kilowatt hours and design a system for about 110 to 120%. And Jeremy, let me ask you this: what types of stories have you heard as you're talking with customers that are telling you about the experiences they've had dealing with other representatives?
So a solar system designed incorrectly is really a disservice to the customer because it leaves them paying an annual true-up bill. Mm-hmm. And at Solar Savings Direct, we strive to design our systems perfectly so that the customer does not encounter that true-up bill at the end of the year and is still paying PG&E, and then oftentimes paying a note on the solar system as well.
Right, yeah, they might have their monthly loan payment or something along those lines. Yeah.
Speaking of, we have amazing financing on solar.
Tons. Yeah, there's a lot of options. And we're going to be getting to that. We're going to be getting to talking about some leasing nightmares. We're going to talk about some really good finance products, and we're going to talk about some horrible finance products, as well as the Contractor State License Board complaint department. So we'll get to that in a little bit. So Jeremy, let's see. My question for you is your experience in solar for the last couple of years. Now you've seen quite a bit of changes in the industry.
That's correct.
Yeah. As far as products are concerned, our kind of preferred module and microinverter or inverter system is going to be the microinverter. What can you think in the last 12 months that has really changed the industry and flipped it up on its head as far as inverters versus microinverters?
I can say this. A lot of people refer to the solar industry as a solar coaster.
Oh,
because technology is constantly changing.
Yeah.
Take a look at batteries, for example.
Oh, my goodness. Yep.
12 months ago, batteries were extremely expensive and sometimes did not meet the customer's expectations. Because of power shutoffs of recent times, there has been huge innovations in the battery industry.
Massive. Yep.
And today we are installing batteries that can back up a whole house that are very reasonable and are eligible for a California self-generation incentive program.
Pretty big rebate. Yep, that's right. And how loud are those batteries? About as loud as a generator?
About as loud as a mouse.
Nice. Yep. And then, you don't have to have a consistent fuel bill for a backup generator and listen to a big noisy, natural gas or propane or gasoline generator.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So remember, I want to say it was about 3 or 4 months ago, we were installing 320 watt panels, and then we jumped to 325s, and then right now we're doing 335s and 340s.
Yeah, and I just got into a design of a system down in the Bay Area with 400 watt on black panels. So
right.
It's just constantly changing.
Yeah,
but that's kind of where we excel, is staying on the cutting edge of the industry. Because as you know, Grant, business is two things: it's innovation and marketing.
Yep. And so we need to be on the absolute forefront of that. So we're gonna, when we come back from the break here in a minute, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about our preferred products, and we're going to get into the financing, and we're going to get into some of the nightmare stories. So stay tuned. They're going to be really good.
I'm excited for that.
everything going on in the world today, there's one company that I can honestly say has changed lives in recent months. Straight Line Construction is so passionate about our community that they're once again offering to repair, restore, or replace your roof at already industry-low prices, now with up to $1,500 off any new project. They understand that a new roof may be an overwhelming cost to many families right now, so get this. They're offering 12 months to pay, interest-free. Straight Line Construction has given away over $100,000 in home improvements to local heroes, and they want to provide you with the best experience, at the best price, and with the best team of highly skilled roofers. They may even be able to repair your existing roof with a new product, Roof Max, rejuvenating your roof, giving it years of use and saving you thousands of dollars. Most companies will try to convince you to replace your roof, but the folks at Straight Line Construction are good, honest people that take pride in the work they do and the community they serve. Go to straightlineconstruction.com and mention you heard this ad on KSAC. Go to Straight Line Construction today. Tell them Phil sent you.
With summer just around the corner, so are those high electricity bills. Don't panic, prepare with SolarSavingsDirect.com. They have been providing solar solutions for over a decade, saving homeowners and businesses thousands of dollars on their energy bills. SolarSavingsDirect.com supports our communities and actively practices all CDC safety protocols, making sure to keep you and their team safe while providing your solar needs. Now is a perfect time to see if solar is right for you. Check out their real-time solar calculator at SolarSavingsDirect.com.
Straight Line Roofing and Construction has proudly served El Dorado and Placer County for 15 years. Awarded the Reader's Choice Award every year since 2004, the friendly staff at Straight Line Roofing and Construction pride themselves on providing dependable craftsmanship and dedicated service. You're invited to experience their interactive showroom and meet with a certified consultant Monday through Friday and Saturdays with an appointment. Get more information and directions at straightlineconstruction.com.
This is Sacramento's Money 105.5, KSAC.
The hottest tips and trends in the home improvement industry, Friday mornings at 10 with Jack Borba on the Straight Line Construction Home Improvement Show on Money 105.5 KSAC.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in and staying with us. So we just, had a nice chat about the experience that Jeremy and I both have as general building contractors, as well as a handful of other classifications that we have. I got into heating and air many years ago, so I have the classification for that. That's a C20. And then I got the C46 many years ago, and we only do solar now. That's our wheelhouse, solar. And with our roofing partners, we'll do some roofing occasionally if the projects need it. But I wanted to touch base about the Contractor State License Board. And
It's a great topic.
Yeah, it is fun, right? And I had a story a couple years back. A friend of mine, he was talking to me about solar, and he goes, I really looked into it, but we're not going to get solar, and it's all a scam and it's horrible. And I said, well, that's really interesting. Where do you get this information?
Tell me more.
And he goes, oh, well, my wife works at the CSLB, the Contractor State License Board. And I started laughing. I snickered a little bit. I said, oh, that's interesting. And he goes, yeah, and she works in the complaint department. So I said, oh, I understand. Say no more.
I bet she's busy.
Yes, very busy. Yeah, specifically with solar. And here's why. There are about 50 different classifications at the Contractor State License Board, and a classification between general A engineering for roads and bridges, to plumbing, to heating and air, and painting and decking and concrete, and there's 50 of these things. The C46 classification for solar has more complaints than all of the other classifications combined.
That's a good point.
Combined.
Did you know that there's even a classification for gold lettering? For gold leafing?
Yes, that's right. There's a classification for gold leafing. Yes,
Yeah.
I do remember that. Probably not a lot of complaints there.
No, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about what you can do to avoid getting, involving yourself in a bad construction project. Jeremy, let's chat about that project we just did in Truckee.
Yeah.
We got contacted by a general construction company that was contracted by the insurance company to remove the solar and re-roof. And so let's chat about that.
Yeah. So I remember me and you actually went up to that job, and Truckee has a 167-pound snow load requirement. So when you're designing a house in Truckee, you're designing a solar system.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take into consideration this huge snow load. And this is a great example of why, let's say a plumbing company that also does solar just
Right.
doesn't quite
Understand.
doesn't quite understand the right thing to do in that kind of
Yeah.
situation.
These layers need to be done right.
The layers need to be done right.
Yeah.
So given the fact that me and Grant do this on a daily basis, we go up there and we immediately notice an issue. It's a 2-rail system on a 167-pound snow road.
Yeah, those panels are going to fold in half
Yeah.
with that much snow.
They were screaming.
Yep.
They were screaming. So we took this opportunity to bring their system into compliance because it was not in compliance.
Right.
And, it's very important that you choose the right contractor because a lot of times these inspectors are unable to get on the roof to check some of the issues that may present itself with a solar project. So
yeah, we had an inspection yesterday, and our inspection technician said, well, the inspector couldn't get on the ladder. I had everything set up, but he had a bad ankle. So he said, oh, can you get some pictures of it for me while you're up there?
Yeah. And so in this particular project, we were able to bring the system into compliance. We added a 3rd rail, did the required engineering.
And you remember what happened to the original company that installed it? They're out of business.
They're out of business.
Right. They're out of business. They skimped out on designing the project properly. I don't know how it got through the building department without them catching it, but the plans they had submitted were inaccurate. The house plans showed the solar plan showed trusses, but it was rafters. So we had to completely re-engineer it and install 3 rails, and it's all back together. But that was literally a $12,000 expense.
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting solar at a pretty price tag, and then a couple years later finding out something was done wrong, and in order to remove the system and reinstall it and correct some items, it's a $12,000 expense?
Yeah. Well, it kind of plays into kind of how we operate this business, which is just do the right thing.
That is very true.
Right thing.
That is very true. Yeah. So very very interesting. Customers all happy with the solar now. It's working flawlessly, but I just have to say that there's a reason that the CSLB has so many complaints. And I've heard so many stories similar to this one that there probably hasn't been a complaint. So what you need to do in order to check a contractor is go to the contractor state license website, cslb.ca.gov. Go to that website and you can hit license check. And there's multiple ways. One of the things you want to do is look for complaints on their license and see how old it is and what classifications they have.
Yeah. I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
So you've been a licensed contractor for 10 years, Grant.
Yeah. This month.
How many complaints do you have against your license?
Oh, I stopped counting because, it's 0. Yeah.
Because you stopped counting because there's nothing to count?
It's 0, and it's always been 0.
Yeah.
Here's what's funny. I did at one point have the CSLB contact me, and they were talking about a customer that did not sound familiar. I checked all the records and books, and it was wrong. The customer was filing a complaint against a solar contractor, but they got the names of the company mixed up. And so once I showed the logo, the name, and proved that we never worked it there, the CSLB says, oh, that's interesting. Well, we'll keep searching for whoever did this bad job.
So I thought when you said the CSLB contacted you, I thought you were going to say to give you an award.
Yes. Right, yeah. Congratulations for not having any complaints in this industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and being in business for 10 years, right. Yeah, nope, not the case on that one, so close. So, yeah, can you think of any other stories? How about you? We should talk about that leasing one.
Yeah. So, well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you expound on that.
Okay.
Since you were the main point.
Yeah, we got a call a couple months ago about a customer that was interested in purchasing a house. This is a close to $1 million house in Serrano, and the house had a solar system installed. And the purchaser, the person buying the house thought, oh, that's great. It already has solar. I don't need to do anything. Well, they found out it was a leased system, which means that, basically a bank or some finance company owns the equipment that's bolted to the roof, and they're charging the customer who lives there a monthly payment to have it there. It's typically a lower cost than what the utility company would charge. They own the system. They maintain it. They take care of the warranty. But financially, it's a really unique situation this house was put in. So customer wants to buy this house, and they get in touch with the leasing company. We would like to buy the lease out. And the leasing company says, no problem. You can buy the solar system. And I did
No problem, huh?
Yeah, no problem. I did the calculations. A newly installed cash price solar system for this house would be about $35,000.
Yeah.
And the leasing company says the buyout amount is $40,000. So not extreme, right? So
Yeah, $5,000 more. I mean, that's pretty penny.
yeah, it's pretty penny. And then also no eligibility for that federal tax credit because the leasing company got the federal tax
That's
credit.
a great point.
So pretty expensive. Well, interestingly enough, they were going to make the home seller pay the $40,000 and then proceed with the transaction.
Okay.
They communicated with the leasing company that we're buying it out and we're going to start this process. And they said, great, did you want to have us pick up the equipment or do you want to buy the equipment from us as well?
What do you mean?
Well, when they got the lease buyout dollar amount of $40,000, the home purchaser just thought that it was going to be for the solar to stay on the house and to buy out of the lease. No, the equipment cost to leave it in place was an additional $40,000.
What?
$40,000.
My Lord.
Yes. So this project was going to be literally $80,000 and zero eligibility for the federal tax credit. So needless to say, they found a different house.
And all that information is probably tucked away in very, very fine print. That's
Yes.
just about impossible to
Yes.
understand.
Yes, exactly. So this was a solar lease where they were leasing the equipment and they were on a fixed monthly payment, which should have been a little bit lower cost than the utility company, but a much higher cost to say or else to do anything.
Why don't we distinguish for the listener the difference between a lease, a cash purchase, and a PPA?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Grant just described a lease. A cash purchase, I'll delve into that. So we have about 6 finance companies that we directly work with that offer solar financing.
Yep.
And I've been involved in multiple parts of the construction industry, and I can tell you that there's no other industry like solar when it comes to financing. They have some of the best financing.
Absolutely right.
Zero down.
Yep.
Generally, a monthly payment that's $100, $150, sometimes $200 less than your PG&E bill.
Yeah.
And you're still eligible for that 26% federal tax credit.
Right.
Or some people just choose to pay outright. It all depends on what the customer is looking for. But we have fantastic ROIs, or return on investments, with cash purchases.
Yep.
A PPA. A PPA is called a power purchase program.
Power purchase agreement. That's
Agreement.
Right. Yeah. PPA, power purchase agreement. And
that's right. That would be a PPP.
Yeah, exactly. so this the power purchase agreement. I got a story. It was about 5 years ago, where a customer got in touch with us.
Mm-hmm.
We gave him a proposal, and he said, yes, I got one other proposal to look over, and then I really want to move forward with you. You worked on my neighbor's house and a couple others. So the customer got in touch with me and says, hey, I'm going to go with the other company. I really appreciate your time. And I said, oh, no worries. Thank you for letting us know. I really appreciate it. I wish you the best. Well, come to find out, he got in touch with me a little while later, and when he was sitting at the kitchen table with the sales rep that was representing a different solar company, the homeowner said, I want to make sure this is a purchase. This is not a lease. And the guy said multiple times, yes, this is a power purchase. This is a purchase.
Oh, really?
He used some tricky verbiage to
the acronyms.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, this is a purchase right here. See, you're purchasing power from us. This is a power purchase agreement. So this customer signed a contract and is in a PPA, power purchase agreement, with the solar company. And, he thought that, they're just going to keep the federal tax credit, but I own the system.
Yeah.
That is not the case. And that is another that's another reason why the CSLB has so many complaints because of this.
And that's another reason why we offer a free second opinion on any solar
anything
proposal that a customer's been given.
Yep, that's right. So, it's super simple to get in touch with us. You can go to solarssavingsdirect.com. We've got an energy relief program right now. Read about that, where you can have your utility payments and your loan payments paid for by the company. So there's really no out-of-pocket expense for many months. So go to solarssavingsdirect.com.
Yeah.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Speaking to reporters, President Trump says he's keeping an eye on tropical weather heading up the East Coast.
Tropical Storm Faye is probably going to be hitting a place called New Jersey, a good place, pretty soon. So we are on the watch. We're fully prepared. FEMA's ready in case it's bad. Shouldn't be too bad, but you never know. You never know.
The National Hurricane Center's Michael Brennan says maximum sustained winds for Faye are about 50 miles per hour.
We are seeing some of those stronger winds moving along onshore along the coast of Delaware and into New Jersey, and we'll expect those winds to move northward within that tropical storm warning area that is now in effect from Fenwick Island, Delaware, to Watch Hill, Rhode Island.
Possibility of flash flooding in parts of the mid-Atlantic and southern New England. On Wall Street, the Dow is ahead 213 points. The NASDAQ is down 3 points. This is SRN News.
With summer just around the corner, so are those high electricity bills. Don't panic, prepare with SolarSavingsDirect.com. They have been providing solar solutions for over a decade, saving homeowners and businesses thousands of dollars on their energy bills. SolarSavingsDirect.com supports our communities and actively practices all CDC safety protocols, making sure to keep you and their team safe while providing your solar needs. Now is a perfect time to see if solar is right for you. Check out their real-time solar calculator at SolarSavingsDirect.com.
With everything going on in the world today, there's one company that I can honestly say has changed lives in recent months. Straight Line Construction is so passionate about our community that they're once again offering to repair, restore, or replace your roof at already industry-low prices, now with up to $1,500 off any new project. They understand that a new roof may be an overwhelming cost to many families right now, so get this. They're offering 12 months to pay, interest-free. Straight Line Construction has given away over $100,000 in home improvements to local heroes, and they want to provide you with the best experience, at the best price, and with the best team of highly skilled roofers. They may even be able to repair your existing roof with a new product, Roof Max, rejuvenating your roof, giving it years of use, and saving you thousands of dollars. Most companies will try to convince you to replace your roof, but the folks at Straight Line Construction are good, honest people that take pride in the work they do and the community they serve. Go to straightlineconstruction.com and mention you heard this ad on KSAC. Go to Straight Line Construction today. Tell them Phil sent you.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-2085. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-2085. 800-555-2085.
As the will of the students goes, so goes the will of the nation. This is a central theme of the new movie, Return to the Hiding Place, the film about Corrie ten Boom and her secret army of teenagers' heroic efforts to hide and save Jews from the Nazis during World War II. Corrie's story was made famous by her book and original movie produced by the Billy Graham Association. Now, 45 years later, comes Return to the Hiding Place, the untold, behind-the-scenes true story of Corrie's secret army of student teenagers' efforts to rescue Jewish people. Told by Hans Poley, one of Corrie's teens in the resistance, Return to the Hiding Place is an action-packed film of the Dutch Underground's true, breathtaking rescue of an entire orphanage of Jewish children. Return to the Hiding Place, starring John Rhys Davies. Watch this captivating movie tonight with your older children at salemnow.com and save 20% with the promo code Sacramento. Return to the Hiding Place at salemnow.com, promo code Sacramento. Due to historical content, might not be suitable for younger audiences.
More home improvement advice you can trust. Next on the Straight Line Construction Home Improvement Show.
Hey guys, thanks for staying with us here. You got Grant Gluck with Solar Savings Direct and...
You bet. Jeremy Reed here. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for having us. So we just had a nice chat about solar as a construction project. We talked about the contractor state license board. We talked about sizing the right system and things to watch out for. And we were in the middle of chatting about PPA, lease, and purchase. So it's extremely important to make
trifecta.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's very important to make sure when you're looking at your proposal that you're identifying: is this a PPA? Is this a lease? Or is this a purchase?
Yeah, and that's why Grant, we started that program to no obligation. We'll review somebody's proposal that they got from another company, just to make sure that the customer fully understands what they're getting into.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it might save you money, but monthly, when you go to sell the house, I mean, who knows? There's all kinds of options.
Well, the story you brought up about the leasing, where these people were stuck with a $80,000 total bill.
Yeah, that would have been a $35,000 cash price to do. So yeah, along, and that's why I think we're very successful and honest with our customers, because we approach solar as a construction project. A solar panel produces kilowatt hours. You need 30 solar panels, and it costs this much to install it. How you fund the project is really up to the customer. We offer multiple financing options. The cash gets a little bit of a discount. The financing companies that we have access to that offer extremely awesome rates, we have a couple fees that we have to pay, so that's why we give the cash discount. One of the things that is really important to know is if your roof is in bad shape, a lot of times the financing can be used for the roof and the solar. Yep. There should be federal tax credit eligibility for the total project. And a lot of times, including the roof will be a lower cost than their utility bill.
Yeah, and speaking of roofs, I know a guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Where's Jack today?
His name's Jack. We, in fact, our main office is located just a block and a half away from Jack's main office.
Yep.
We work real closely with them. They are an outstanding company.
Yeah, I've been working with them for a long time. I think close to 9 years now, actually.
Yeah. And they've got this new product called Roof Max.
Oh, it's awesome.
And we have utilized it on several solar projects.
Yeah.
It extends the life of an aging roof.
Right.
So
guaranteed 5 years minimum.
So I just finished a project in Placerville, and we put 30 panels, south-facing roof plane.
Nice.
Fantastic production. These people are never going to have a PG&E bill.
Wonderful.
I mean, when I get my PG&E bill, Grant, you know what it says? It says no payment. Yeah, I mean,
hey, like mine.
Could you imagine how painful that is for PG&E to send out?
Oh,
I mean, they're spending the money on the postage just to tell me that no payment's due.
The paper.
It's brutal. Brutal. So, anyways, let me digress. We did
the Roof Max.
Yeah.
Yep.
We utilized the Roof Max on this project, and it's a petroleum-based product that extends the life of asphalt and comp shingles for roughly 5 to 7 years?
It's 5 years, and you can do it, I think, 3 times. Yeah, you can do it a total of 3 times. So you can extend your roof life by 15 years. And here's the interesting thing. If there's not a need to replace the entire roof, you could do the Roof Max underneath the solar, and once the solar is installed, that section of roofing is a little bit more preserved and protected than other areas of the roof.
Yeah.
So,
and here's the cherry on top. Listen to this. So that same customer got 26% federal tax credit on the cost of extending the life of their roof.
Oh, that is very true.
Because they paired it with solar.
Yeah, it was all a bundled project.
Yeah,
right. That works out really well. So they are getting no more utility bills from PG&E.
That's correct.
Their roof life is extended.
That's correct.
And they get a 26% federal tax credit on the expense of the solar as well as the Roof Max.
Yeah, and that's why.
Just making sure I heard that right.
I wake up every day with a huge smile on my face. I love going to work because we're in we're in an industry that is actually making a difference.
It is. It is one of the only construction projects that can save you money.
No, literal large amounts of money that you would either be paying to PG&E or some other utility company.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You can do lots of other construction projects like, decking, siding, windows, and kitchen remodel, and that will add some equity to the house.
You bet.
It will, but it doesn't necessarily save you money monthly right out the gate. So.
Yeah, I've got another question.
Yeah.
So if you install solar on your house, we all know it obviously increases the value of your home.
Right.
That's a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But does your tax liability increase with the county?
Oh, good point. That question's come up a lot because of people doing kitchen remodels and getting a permit for it.
Yes. Well, you have to have a permit for any construction project. Anything
Right.
over $500 in the state of California
requires a permit.
requires a permit.
So that triggers the county when they see these permits. There was a bill, I forget what it's called, but there was a bill, I think, in the early 2000s that state of California will not reassess property taxes with a solar project of any type. So solar, and that includes solar projects, battery projects, and generator projects, because those are, to back up your power needs.
Yeah.
So
the state of California really wants to incentivize people to go solar.
Absolutely.
Because the PG&E and energy companies have a pretty large problem in the evening time. It's called the duck curve. And we've talked about this before.
Yep.
The duck curve is when the sun goes down and all those people that have gone solar in California stop producing power.
Right.
And so PG&E has this huge spike in demand.
Yep.
And they have to fire up coal-fired power plants to meet it.
Right.
And there is nothing dirtier than coal. I mean, your barbecue. That's coal, okay?
Right, exactly. That's kind of dirty.
You saw just last weekend we had ribs at my house. You saw the smoke coming off right?
I did.
So that's a little mini power plant.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So so the state of California is trying to incentivize people to install batteries to offset that duck curve.
So that's right. We just got someone approved for the battery rebate yesterday. I saw the email come through. They're getting a $20,000 rebate on a battery.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, $20,000 rebate on the battery. I forget what size battery that was. Was that one of the big ones?
I think it was a 20 kilowatt hour battery. I think it was $1 a kilowatt that they received.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So being an approved SGIP developer, that's our company. SGIP Self-Generation Incentive Program. That's the battery rebate that is put in place to assist with that duck curve. It's incentivizing people to get a battery that is powered by solar. So when the sun goes down, the house can be in self-consumption mode and not have to buy power from the utility company.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I got to hand it to the state of California. They are really on the cutting edge of green technology and
absolutely
and incentivizing it.
Absolutely.
So it's an amazing time for a consumer to take advantage of solar and a battery.
Yep.
Grant, talk a little bit about what's going to happen to the federal tax credit
in
the coming years.
So right now it's 26%. This is the first year it's 26. For the last 5 years it was about 30%, and it stepped down 4% this year. I had a handful of clients that reached out to us, middle or late in the year of 2019, and they wanted to get solar proposals. So we put proposals together, and some of them didn't go anywhere, no problem. Well, they followed back up with our company this year and said, hey, we're ready to move forward. In fact, we're starting one next week in Serrano.
Yep.
And the federal tax credit had dropped 4%. And so as he was looking at the numbers for the new proposal, a couple things changed. One, the federal tax credit decreased, so his out-of-pocket expense is more. Also, the solar panels that we were using are a higher wattage now. So we're able to install, I think, 3 solar panels less than his other proposal.
Yeah.
But he has to spend a larger dollar amount because that federal tax credit's gone. And here's the other interesting part.
This is a customer that we're doing some roof repairs on as well.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. That we're wrapping that up into the project as well. So
thank you, Straight Line,
that
for that.
that company, that customer, he had to pay an extra 4%, but this was a 3,000 square foot house, and he also spent utility bills for about another 8 months, maybe 10.
Yeah. So what's that federal tax credit going to be in 2021?
So next year it is dropping to 22%. So it's going to drop another 4%. So these numbers add up. The solar materials and the labor to install a successful project, it's not a low cost investment. So that 4% really can
But you
mean
bring
a
up
lot.
a good point. It is an investment.
It is
because there is a different from other construction projects with solar. There's an ROI. There's a return on investment.
Right. Exactly.
So you actually do come out whole in the end.
Yes, exactly. And the sooner you go solar, the sooner you'll come out whole.
Yeah.
Yep. That is
a
very
great point.
true. No, that is. So
speaking of Serrano, man, they have got some HOA requirements, but we fly through them.
Fly through. Yeah. The first one I did probably about 7 years ago, Had a couple go back and forth. I didn't understand all the requirements, but we fly through, pass inspections with both the building department and the Serrano, and yeah, it's nice and easy to work with the jurisdictions that we're familiar with all throughout the California.
You bet. So what do we got coming up in the next segment, Grant?
So coming up next, we are going to talk about batteries and what types of batteries will work for your project.
Like Duracell?
Yeah, or Energizer, or Die Hard, Yeah, we're going to talk about home batteries. We're going to talk about backup power and the options during these upcoming PSPSs from our utility company.
All right.
So
look forward to that.
Yep, right back in a minute.
With summer just around the corner, so are those high electricity bills. Don't panic, prepare with SolarSavingsDirect.com. They have been providing solar solutions for over a decade, saving homeowners and businesses thousands of dollars on their energy bills. SolarSavingsDirect.com supports our communities and actively practices all CDC safety protocols, making sure to keep you and their team safe while providing your solar needs. Now is a perfect time to see if solar is right for you. Check out their real-time solar calculator at SolarSavingsDirect.com.
With everything going on in the world today, there's one company that I can honestly say has changed lives in recent months. Straight Line Construction is so passionate about our community that they're once again offering to repair, restore, or replace your roof at already industry-low prices, now with up to $1,500 off any new project. They understand that a new roof may be an overwhelming cost to many families right now, so get this. They're offering 12 months to pay, interest-free. Straight Line Construction has given away over $100,000 in home improvements to local heroes, and they want to provide you with the best experience, at the best price, and with the best team of highly skilled roofers. They may even be able to repair your existing roof with a new product, Roof Max, rejuvenating your roof, giving it years of use and saving you thousands of dollars. Most companies will try to convince you to replace your roof, but the folks at Straight Line Construction are good, honest people that take pride in the work they do and the community they serve. Go to straightlineconstruction.com and mention you heard this ad on KSAC. Go to Straight Line Construction today. Tell them Phil sent you.
This is Sacramento's Money 105.5. KSAC.
Tips from pros you can trust on the Straight Line Construction Home Improvement Show. For even more, click Tips and Trends at straightlineconstruction.com.
Hey guys, we're back. We just got done talking about roofing repairs, wrapping it all up into one project. We talked about the
SGIP,
the rebates for the batteries. We talked about finance options, cash discounts, PPA and lease. We talked about bad contractors, and now we're gonna touch on batteries a little bit more. And it's something that we've been installing for quite some time. I think we did our first battery about a year and a half ago, and it's been a great project. We ended up backing up his entire house.
Yeah, and let me just say, these battery projects are not simple. Okay?
Oh, no.
You want to make sure that you've got an experienced contractor working on these battery projects.
Yes.
Yep. My experience with batteries started with a fantastic customer of ours, Steve Dyer.
Oh, yeah.
In Placerville.
Yep.
And let me tell you, this guy is one smart cookie. He's an electronic engineer.
Yep.
And
a lot of fun to work with, too.
Yeah, a lot of fun to work with.
Yep.
And we really kind of geeked out at his house with that big 20 kWh Sonnen.
Yeah.
With how many panels did we throw up there?
30, 32, somewhere in that range.
Oh.
About a 10 kW.
And I've got a question. Didn't he also get a new roof? Who did that roof?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Straight Line. Straight Line did the roof. So his project was roof, solar, battery, big SGIP.
Yeah. I think he
big
went
tax
to
rebate.
Yeah, he went to Hawaii on the tax rebate. Just absolutely lived his best life in Hawaii.
Yep. He should be back soon. Yeah, very true. And it's awesome because during these power shutoffs, he reaches out and he says, "I have power, my neighbors don't."
Yeah. He was asking us if we wanted to come over there, soak up some of the air conditioning.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, so a very unique project. We don't typically back up an entire house, but in this case, it definitely the project met all the requirements. The configuration of the existing house. So a lot of fun, very cool. And so that these batteries have a couple different options. So we've got it set up for self-consumption. So at nighttime, he's not buying power from PG&E. His battery is discharging to power up the house.
That's correct.
And then the depth of discharge can be set to whatever the customer wants, but that depth of discharge is basically, if you set that at 50%, that means at nighttime you're running all the lights and heater, air conditioner, whatever time of year it is. Once it gets to 50%, you're going to buy power from the utility company, and that battery is going to remain at 50% just in case there's a power outage. Because the last thing you want to do is be in self-consumption mode, have a battery, and then not be able to have your lights on once the power actually does go out.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the coolest part about these batteries is how intelligent they are.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so Steve can pull up his iPhone, pull up the app on his iPhone, and see exactly what his battery state of charge is.
Oh, yeah, as well as how much power the house is consuming and how much the solar is producing. So it measures all three: the solar production, the home consumption, and the battery state of charge.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. He in fact, he was at our office the other day. He pulled up his iPhone. And,
nice!
And he was able to ask his wife to turn on a light so that we could see
the difference. Instant.
Or do the toaster oven so that we could see the difference.
Exactly.
I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, and these projects are awesome because when there's a PSPS, public safety power shutoff, it doesn't affect these customers.
Yeah, that's a tongue twister, by the way.
It really is. It really is. Oh, we've got another customer that's on a well.
Yeah.
And we've got another battery system installed out there. And
so here's an interesting thing, not to cut you off, but if you have a well, you're actually the state of California increases the amount of your incentive on the rebate program.
A couple. There's so many different factors, but I know some of the big ones are the well is one, high fire line, and medical baseline.
Yeah, if you're on medical baseline.
Yeah,
if you have medical needs, like a CPAP machine.
Right.
You call PG&E and get them to put you on medical baseline. And,
that's right.
And that actually increases the amount that you're available to get this incentive for.
The cool part about that battery we installed at the other part in Placerville is when there was a power outage, that customer was on a well. And so he had his water without power.
Oh, yeah. His fountain was going outside.
Right. One of the neighbors came over and said, hey, we lost power. It looks like you guys didn't. He didn't even know there was a power outage because the battery kicked in automatically, and he had continuous power for the entire duration of that power outage.
Yeah.
So
it's the technology with the batteries has come leaps and bounds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's finally at a point to where they make sense.
It does. It absolutely makes sense to protect yourself from the power shutoffs. And even if it's not a public safety power shutoff, but there's grid outages that happen all the time anyways. So in the wintertime, if a tree falls down and takes out a line, you could be without power for a couple days. We had some customers in Pollock Pines. Was it 12 days or something a couple years back without power?
In fact, this was just a few weeks ago. We also install the Generac power cell. Generac makes a fantastic whole home battery.
Right.
And these are senior citizens.
Okay.
The gentleman, I believe he's 87 years old. He is a war veteran.
Nice.
Amazing couple. And they had, last year they were without power for 12 days in the middle of winter. And could you imagine? They're on a well, okay?
Right.
12 days.
No water.
Yeah, and elderly, and the last thing they need is to be without power for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we offered an amazing solution for them, and help them make it through the next winter without those hardships.
Oh, yeah. One of the things I love about pairing a battery with solar is your solar can actually work when there is a power outage. Most customers think that, hey, I've got solar. Why doesn't my house work when we lose power?
Yeah.
These are grid-tied solar systems, and they don't operate without a battery. So you really have to have a battery in order to protect yourself and keep the house comfortable, keep things going. We've got an upcoming project in Placerville as well that is going to involve 3 N-Charge N-phase batteries, and they're on a well.
Yeah.
And they're on medical baseline. And their expected rebate for that project is about $30,000. For those 3 batteries.
Yeah.
And it's going to allow them to run the house, run the mini splits so they can climate control the house. We slightly oversized the solar system intentionally, so if the power outage lasts for longer than a couple of days, the solar system will be big enough to recharge those batteries. So this house is really not even going to lose power at all. And this is how loud those batteries are. Did you guys hear that? Okay, that's how loud they are. Yeah.
You know what I'm super excited about?
What's that?
The project in Walnut Creek.
Coming
up with the Solarc batteries. And
55 kilowatt hours of storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Yeah, 6,000 square foot house in Walnut Creek.
Yeah.
That, the PSPS has definitely, strained that household, and they've been uncomfortable for multiple days on end, and he's putting a stop to that this year.
Oh, yeah.
And,
fantastic guy, too. I don't know if he's listening. If he is, he knows who he is.
Yes.
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Another engineer customer. But, you do not have to be an engineer to get these batteries. We've got engineers on staff. We do this stuff in-house so often that you can just call our company, and we will put whatever battery you need inside your house.
Or they can go to SolarSavingsDirect.com.
SolarSavingsDirect.com. That is right. So just to recap, we've talked about batteries. We've talked about the bad contractor stories. We've talked about the Contractor State License Board. We've talked about bundling with roof and batteries and the rebates. If you guys are interested in any of this stuff, you really just need to go to our website, SolarSavingsDirect.com, and let us reserve some equipment sooner rather than later. This COVID crisis has really put a strain on product availability.
Let me just say this real quick.
Yeah.
So if a customer has an existing solar system and they need a new roof, call Straight Line Construction. Straight Line Construction will have us go out there, uninstall the solar system. You can get your roof fixed. You can do the roof max. We'll go out there. We'll put your solar system back on, and we'll put it back on right.
That's very true.
So
that is
a lot of the ones we take off and they were done wrong, and then we put it back on right.
And the reason we get so many of those calls is because the companies are no longer in business.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And let me just do a quick shout out to our lead installer, John Nutter. This guy is a consummate professional, and he knows solar installations like nobody.
Yeah, he does. We got a pretty awesome crews, so we're super excited about that. And you know what? If you have existing solar right now and you'd like to protect yourself from these PSPSs, get in touch with us.
Yeah.
We can design a battery for you, and
where would they go to get in touch with us?
SolarSavingsDirect.com.
Hey,
SolarSavingsDirect.com.
That has a ring to it.
It does, yeah. So coming up, we're gonna be talking about a little bit more about the Corona crisis that is affecting materials availability and what you can do to protect yourself and reserve some materials. Yep. So we'll be right back in a minute.
Thank you for tuning in to the Straight Line Construction Home Improvement Show. Do you want to hear something from today's show again? You'll find a podcast of this episode a little later today at straightlineconstruction.com. Just click on Tips and Trends.